the Rhondda and the Avon valleys. Both friendly neighbours based in the heartlands of South Wales, full of heritage and history. This once peaceful landscape, scattered with farmers, was radically cut open during the Industrial Revolution by a coal industry and its miners. Its coal was shipped to all corners of the globe from the pits in which it was dug out. But today, the valleys has a much different feel. The coal tips are overgrown with grass, the collieries closed, and the booming towns quieter than they once were. But one of the biggest voids left behind in this area from the Industrial Revolution was a train tunnel built in 1885, connecting the Rhondda Valley to the Avon Valley. The tunnel was part of a train line that would carry the valley's infamous coal all the way across to the docks of Swansea Bay and from there across the globe. The Rhondda Tunnel was a typical Victorian structure at its finest. It runs all the way from here in Blaen Cwm, right the way under this mountain, right the way across to the other side in the Avon Valley. But trains have not been running here since 1969. However, one man is looking to change all that. Meet Steve Mackey, also known in these parts as the boy in the dark, after venturing into the tunnel so much as a child. He is the chairman of the Rhondda Tunnel Society, which has one big ambition, and that is to reopen this tunnel as the longest walking and cycling tunnel in the whole of Europe.
I lost my job in 2014, and I went for a walk, quite depressed, and I discovered the stone that was above the tunnel, which had been lost for many, many years, which I put my name on. Steve Mackey painted this, and underneath it said, "Please open me." And when I found that, I decided to move the stone to a safe place, which is now on Treherbert Station. And then somebody said, "Let's open the tunnel." Here we are 4 years later, nearly there.
And nearly there they may be. With the Rhondda Cynon Taf now backing the proposals this week, Steve and his team have taken a big step closer to reopening this tunnel. And with that, Steve invited me to take a trip down into the tunnel to find out more about it and get a glimpse of the kind of work in store. So here I am to the entrance of the tunnel. It's approximately 70 foot down and I'm about to be lowered into it. So here we go. This is one of two air vent shafts which at the moment are the only way to get into this tunnel. And this 70-foot drop is nothing compared to its depth further into the mountain.
Okay, what I want to do is sit in.
Yeah.
So sit in.
At its deepest point, you could fit the Eiffel Tower between the tunnel and the mountain's peak.
Okay, you're going down.
Okay, here we go. Oh. So after a shaky start with my descent, and whilst we wait to see if I made it down safely, now is a good time to run through what makes this tunnel so special. Well, not only would it be the longest cycling tunnel in Europe, but actually the second longest in the world at just under 2 miles long. So here I am, I've arrived safely underground at the bottom of the tunnel, and as you can see underneath me there are the sleepers where the train tracks used to lie. Now as you can see, this tunnel is slightly still wet. This wall is actually saturated, but if we walk down a little bit down further into the tunnel, it is still dry, and that's because 95% of this tunnel is still completely dry. And that's not the only good bit of news for Steve and his team. Back in April, Balfour Beatty carried out an inspection in the tunnel to find that it was in good shape for reopening. So these are all positive signs so far, but what's next for the project? Well, aside from the work to open it, there is still one major hurdle in the way. In its recent business plan, the Rhondda Tunnel Society states that, without an agreement about the long-term ownership of a reopened tunnel, the Society cannot apply for grants to restore it. And with the tunnel currently owned by Highways England, it would need the Welsh Government to take ownership or grant ownership to the local authorities. With that in mind, it was time for the politicians to be put on the ropes.
Just think how much this would cost doing Oakwood.
Leader of Plaid Cymru and Assembly member for the Rhondda, Leanne Wood, who will be voting on ownership at the Senedd later this year, and Rhondda councillor Geraint Davies were also invited down into the tunnel. I wanted to find out why they thought the Welsh Government taking ownership of this tunnel was the right thing to do.
Well, the communities on either side of this tunnel, both in the Rhondda and in the Avon valleys, are badly neglected communities. There are many people living in these communities with very, very little hope. They deserve to have some hope. They deserve to have an economic future. And so this tunnel deserves political backing, it deserves funding, it deserves politicians to put their weight behind what the people in this area have achieved so far.
Wel, o'n credu bydd pethau ar gyfer twristiaeth yn datblygu. Bydd gwesteiau yn agor, bydd restaurants yn agor, a mae rhaid ni hyfforddi bobl I fod yn barod am hynny.
But with that, the question still remains, are they right? Is this kind of project going to have such a positive effect? The Peak District. Known throughout the world for its beautiful scenery and diverse nature. At its heart lies the Monsall Trail, which in 2011 went from being a hiking route to one that cyclists could also enjoy. And that is because 4 major Victorian tunnels that cut through these mountains were reopened for visitor use. So what kind of impact has this similar project had?
So it's the longest of our lit tunnels. It's just over probably 500 metres in length.
Dave Watts, a ranger at the park, thinks reopening the tunnels has been beneficial.
Yeah, from a recreational point of view, it is a real boon, and it's that also gives the local economy some kind of impact in that. We know there's certainly 2 cycling businesses that have done okay out of this trail being opened, as well as local cafes and accommodation.
One of those cycle hires mentioned is Hassop Station. So how has this change impacted business there?
Well, it had a massive impact. The cafe, we had a successful first year, but in our second year, after the tunnels had opened, turnover doubled, and we created a new business in the cycle hire.
So what do people using the trail make of it all?
You have this, imagine the train coming through, and it's part of kind of history and fun.
And heritage and everything.
Have you just been through that tunnel over there? What do you think of the tunnel?
Yeah,
Was it awesome?
a little bit when I was weeping.
When you what?
He was a bit scared.
So it's very, very good. We should open more of these.
Yeah.
And you can see by the use it's getting, especially in school holidays, it's superb.
But that said, it isn't all easy riding with a project like this. Opening these tunnels can be really expensive.
So you've got that initial capital cost of reopening a tunnel or reopening a section of trail, which is always quite significant. But on top of that, there's the annual maintenance cost of looking after something of this scale and with this number of visitors. So the last time that the bridges and structures were inspected on the 3 trails that we manage, the work that was identified was valued at about £2 million.
So what does the cost look like for the Rhondda Tunnel? Well, so far, the initial cost to reopen the tunnel is estimated at around £700,000, and the running cost is estimated to be around £50,000 a year. So why does the man who started it all want to see this investment?
There's nothing that's going to come back into the Rhondda. There's not going to be any heavy industry, so we've got to make do with what we want, what we've got, which is beautiful scenery, and we can do all the tourism we want.
And that may just be the case.
Check out our latest Bear Grylls Survival Academy and our Centre of Excellence at the Afan Valley Adventure Resort.
Plans are underway to open an Avon Valley Adventure Resort with a Bear Grylls survival training site, which could be a new hub for thrill seekers in the future. Early signs end that the Rhondda Tunnel is attracting projects that could bring tourism in the years to come. This would be welcome news for businesses like Nicolo's ice cream van, who may start to see a few more conventional customers than this one.